Okay, so once the color wheel is done, what we're going to do is we're going to select the color wheel, scale it down, and then open the reference file which contains the different types of colors, which are the complementary colors, the analogous colors, and the triadic colors. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a selection of the colors and then add the names. So a complementary color for those two is red and green. So what you do is, or you can pick purple and yellow. So you can grab the red color, click shift on the keyboard, the green color, click alt on the keyboard to copy and copy it on the side. Once it's copied, rotate the actual color palettes, and then you can add the name complementary to them. So that's the complementary color. If I go in and I check the later on, the next one, which is, let's say, the triadic color, which is 3 colors. A triadic color would be, let me switch this a bit. A triadic color would be purple, orange, and this green. So I can select them using shift, click alt on the keyboard, click and drag it, and now I have my triadic colors. So again, the same process. I can just place my colors next to each other, and then I can add the name triadic to them. So that's the name, copy, Control C, Control V. That's triadic to the selection. And then you can do the rest of them. And I have over here analogous, which is next to each other, and tetradic. For the tetradic, as I said, there are 4 points, so you can draw a square. That's a square, and then you can see your 4 colors. So once we draw the square, those would be your 4 colors for the tetradic. Once this is done, let's jump to a new section. Let's add a new document, Control N, or File New. So you can go for File New. I'm gonna add a new A4. That's my new A4. I'm going to copy, Control C, Control V, copy the color wheel, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna switch my artboard from vertical to horizontal. I'm going to click on the artboard option, click enter on the keyboard, and just switch my artboard. I'm going to split those into 2 because I'm gonna work on the next section, which is this one, the warm colors and the cool colors. So those are the warm colors. Let's rotate this a bit more. So those are the warm colors, those are the cool colors. Once you split them, you can scale them up using shift. And the next step, what I want to do is I want to flip this so that it looks like this one. I'm going to right click, transform, and reflect, and this will flip the circle. If the option is on the vertical, it's going to flip it. I'm going to click OK, and that way I have my 2 halves of the circle. I can go in and add warm colors, and the next section is going to be the cool colors. You can go in and let's go for 45 and this 45. So we have the cool colors and we have the warm colors. Next section, add a new document, and let's go for a horizontal one. That's my new document. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna go to Illustrate, to my PDF file. I'm going to print screen by clicking Fn, print screen, back to Illustrator, Control V. I want to redo this design over here. So I'm gonna place this on one layer, lock it, add a new layer on top. I'm gonna draw a box using the shape tool. That's the first box. Then I'm going to click Alt on the keyboard and drag it to duplicate. Then I'm gonna select the two boxes, click Alt on the keyboard, drag it downwards, and I'm gonna keep on dragging. I'm selecting, so 1, 2, 3, 4 is left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Using Shift, select the 4 boxes, click Alt on the keyboard, click and drag it downwards. Now I have all of the strips. So I'm going to select the first one, color it. I'm going to click on the keyboard V to go to the black mouse, and I to choose the eyedropper. So I'm switching between V and I. That way we are coloring all of the sections according to the assigned color. Okay, so once this is done, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna hide this one, drag this over here, and just extend it from one section to another. The next part I want to work on, let me hide layer 2, which is the shades over here. What I can do is I can add a new layer for the shades. I'm gonna go in using the pen tool, click on the first point, select the next point, the next one, and the next one. So I'm only going to do one, and then I can copy paste. So if I click Alt on the keyboard, I can click and drag it to the side. So I'm just copy pasting the same shape. Our next step is to color those shapes over here. So those are my shapes. So the first one is black. So in my swatches, I can go for a black color. The next one is white. So this is my white color. And the next one is gray. I can pick a grayish color. So I'm gonna hide layer 2 and look at the strips. I'm gonna select my 3 colors and place them on top. So those are my colors. I can go in and name them shade, tint, and tone. So I'm gonna zoom in, call this shade. That's tint. And the last one is tone. So I'm gonna select again my 3 shapes. Those are my 3 shapes. I'm gonna take off my stroke. So my stroke is off. Then I'm gonna go for transparency to add an opacity to those objects, and drop my transparency down. As you can see, as I'm dropping it down, I can see through the object. So if I go 50%, that would be enough, and that way I can actually see the different shades, tints, and the tones. Once you're done, save your file.